Hello everyone! Hopefully my microphone's working with my music today. I'm actually working on some photographs today because I was a bit crazy a few days ago and shot 1,100 in a day. So it's kind of stuff I need to go through. And it's honestly crazy the amount of stuff, because I've alluded to one of the photographs on my Instagram saying, what am I doing? Because I'm actually working on the possibility of doing computer, desktop, and mobile wallpaper now. That if I do anything, I want to release some by Friday for the iPhone XS. And Mr. Master, that's alright if you only have a few minutes. So, I'm going to be doing something, I'm thinking, with photographs like this, because I was going and taking some more artistic photographs. So this is something, like one of the photographs I was taking. So it would probably look really good like that as a wallpaper. But I'm still working on them all. But I hope everyone's having a great day. I know I am so far. I had a power outage this morning and finally got power back around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Hey Lori, I hope you're doing well. Now, just so you guys know, I will be at Universal Orlando Friday night. I'll probably just do a vlog because I'll be there for the first night of, well, my first night of Halloween Horror Nights. And as of right now, I'll probably just film a vlog because I'm going to be shooting it in a very special, like, VHS style. Which, actually, do I have my sample up on my cloud? Let me see if I have the sample up, because I'll pull that down quick. Because I think you guys might like that. Because I filmed a little bit at Epcot as just a test. So I want to see exactly how that looks. So actually, let me upload files from my camera on my phone. Videos. Done. So it should upload, I think, to my main one. Not entirely sure. But I just had it upload to my main folder. Let's see. Because it does it all by name. Is this it? Yes, it is. Sweet. So let me pause the song real quick and we'll go traverse into my cloud library. And then from there I can pull it down unless... Oh man, I have to sign in. Do I have it open right now? pCloud. I'm gonna put on the temp screen real quick. Just give me 1 minute for that because just in case if I have to sign in or anything, I don't need my email out again. So let me just put that up real quick. pCloud. Because I also changed the password on that. But I think you guys might like the look of it. And God, I have too many programs open. Just so you guys know, I'll probably be doing the park stream next weekend. When Mary Ellen's down here, I don't know why I'm blanking on your name right now. That's when I'll probably do it. I am not entirely sure just yet. I'm going to see how tired I get from Horror Nights. Yes, this is my Be Right Back screen. All because I don't know if I have to sign in for it. I know it's kind of deceiving, to be honest. Do I have to sign in? No, sweet, I don't have to sign in. There we go. Yeah, that's my just a little random hold on screen. If you look at my preview window compared to what's going out live. Okay, sweet. So let me pull down that file. Because I am thinking about just shooting it standard and then doing everything in post. And actually, I will just throw it into my program here because it should support it. So let me just throw that over like that. So this is the general idea of what I want to do. So this is what I'm thinking for it.
One of his birthday presents.
Look at that.
This is just the general idea.
Ooh.
Imagine doing Horror Nights like
Oh, and it's downpouring now.
Well, no, what I would do is
One of his birthday presents.
Look at that.
Whoa, wrong screen. So that's what I'm thinking of. Alright, Mary Ellen, I will make sure to do that. So that is generally why I put out that poll on Twitter of, do you want to see it a regular vlog? Or do you want to see it filmed like a VHS tape? And hello there, Joshua. I hope you are doing well this afternoon into this fine evening. So you guys can see, since the last time we talked, I've been into the park a bit, and I've kind of gone crazy with some of my photographs here. Like all of the photographs inside Wonders of Life. Because since that's the convention space, I'm finally happy that I can get out there and not have to deal with any trespassing or whatnot, because that's something that wouldn't be fun at all. So I have photographs like this, which is very nice because I can just crop people out. So I've been very busy, including taking photographs on Spaceship Earth. Something that is very fun, shockingly as well. If it wants to load. It wants to preview there. Let's see. There we go. So to get you guys some nice photographs like this, all right now unprocessed. But all would be in focus. Like now, there we go. Now it's in focus. Because I am thinking about doing a wallpaper series. But I'm trying to figure out what would be the best approach for that right now. Hello Hello, Hazels. I am thinking about how I want to do the photography bit, because there is an idea I want to do potentially, but I have to look into it a bit more. Like, I want to do it where you can have wallpaper, but make it as donation wear. Lori, I am taking another semester down here in Orlando because the stuff that I have to deal with internally is a nightmare, and I couldn't guarantee certain things, which could cost me upwards of $8,000 in a year, and that is no bueno to me at all. Hazels, if you want to do it for $9 a month, check out Adobe Lightroom Photoshop combo. Let me see, is that actually $9 a month? I don't recall. Adobe Lightroom CC Photoshop cost. Let's see here. Yeah, it's Photoshop, it's Lightroom. So, like, I do varying work between Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop. I actually have the Adobe CC Master collection. But I would say Adobe Lightroom is some of the best I've done with. It's like some of the best I've loved. My Lightroom catalog is about 105,000 photos now, I think. So let's see. This is all annual. See all plans. I want to see the monthly plans. So the one that I use, like, technically the one I have is All Apps, and I just prepay that. You can see how much I actually pay for all that. I'm switching over soon to a volume license, but I would say generally the one that I would recommend if you just want to, here you go, the photography bundle. It's $9 a month with 20 gigs. You get Adobe Lightroom CC, Adobe Lightroom Classic CC, and Adobe Photoshop CC. So I would recommend the photography bundle for $10 a month. You can do it prepaid for $120 a year. So that's up there if you want to do that. And then, like, I'm still looking for a possible, like, a proper site to do what I want to do for, like, selling and whatnot. And this is one site I'm looking at right now. It's called Gumroad. And the nice thing about it is I could do donationware if I want to. Like, so if I want to get this for $0, I can get it for $0 and put my email in. So that's what I kind of want to do with my photography. I want to do with the photography, like, possibly do Gumroad and make everything donationware. Because it does cost money to store this stuff. It does cost money to edit and to take photographs, and just the amount of money I spend on storage in a year is actually a bit insane. Right now, I think my yearly expenditure, well, my yearly expenses on just storage is somewhere like $200. So if I'm able to justify that a bit further, I can. No problem, Hazel. But it's one of those things, I want to get the right blend for you guys and for myself and do everything proper. Which is one reason why I'm thinking about doing my initial batches through Google Photoshop, well, Google Drive. Because you get the 15 free gigs. So that's what I'm thinking right now. Which I can personally say I kind of went crazy last night downloading phone mockups. So if I go to my mock-ups folder here. You guys can just see I just have mock-up city going on. Have a good one, Mary Ellen, and I will. So I do run a lot of stuff Photoshop as well, but I am also starting to like go into possible device mock-ups to demonstrate wallpaper and what I want to do, as well as like I'm getting ready for like the iPhone XS and the XR. So I have a lot of stuff I'm doing behind the scenes. Which actually, how big is my library now? So my library is 104,361 plus the 11,000. I'm sorry, plus the 1,110 I shot a few days ago. So my catalog in total is more about 105,400, which is just absolutely insane. Because I just will shoot an endless stream of photographs. And I'm always looking for something new and new ways to photograph. So I've been like doing testing shots and seeing what can I grab out of all this with photos like this, and I always shoot as high of a resolution and in RAW that I can. And I know for a lot of my viewers here who have seen my photography streams before, they know I take a lot. But it's just something that's fun, really. And I want to find the perfect blend for all of us. Because I don't like some of the photography I've been seeing out of the parks. And I will admit that. I'm not a huge fan of like the colors pop so vivid that you can tell they're HDR. So I want to bring a more professional approach into it with even colors as well. And it's kind of funny how I just am going off on this tirade right now. But I really don't like some of the photography I'm seeing from the parks, especially on Twitter and Instagram. So I want to try to bring in more quality and something that I see that I personally feel is missing from all of it. Which is why you guys might see photographs like this. And about how it's actually going to be fun here doing layer separation with the sky in the background. So I'll probably have to do all of this in Photoshop, personally. Which I can say, Lightroom is what I prefer to do my photograph grading, because you have a lot more tools here than you would with Adobe Photoshop. So if I were to go and decide to open up one of my raw photos from Epcot, and which one would be a good one for that? Just a throw in. So I'm just gonna randomly open up one of my photographs in Photoshop. Hopefully, if it, yeah, we'll open up in Photoshop. No, it didn't open up in Photoshop. Really? Okay, so we'll do this one that will open up in Photoshop. I would probably want to do that once I have more photos, put it all together in a book, but I need to figure out where can I self-publish that, and how can I deal more with copyright. Because it's kind of weird where I've run into some sites, they will not touch my photographs at all because of copyrights. Even though, if we follow how US copyright law works, I own the copyrights to my work, to the photograph that I shoot, but then I have the sticky situation of I'm on a private property taking photographs of copyrighted material. So technically my work can be seen as a derivative, but according to copyright laws and precedent cases, like, I can sell photographs of Cinderella's castle because that is not copyrighted. I think they've come out with this thing years ago saying that you can't copyright architecture work. So it's just one of those things. I want to make sure that everything I'm doing is in the right. So it's one of those where it's kind of iffy. But I will, actually, since we're opening a Photoshop, I will show you guys some of like my favorite things with Photoshop. Which one of them by far is the burn feature, where I can actually darken midtones and highlights and all that and get a much more finesse there into a look that I want to achieve. Plus, this is actually a great way to show you guys how I personally prefer Lightroom's color grading tools compared to Photoshop's color grading tools, because I think Photoshop's really needs work if it wants to ever open. It's probably because I'm using a lot of RAM right now with Lightroom, because Lightroom is a hog. When here, like, the best I can do is split toning, unless I were to go a bit more in depth. Like, here is where I can do tone curves. So if I want to make everything darker, I can. Which, let me use my other mouse for this real quick. And there's Photoshop opening up in the background. So if I want to do something more like this, just a very quick color grade, like, I can do a lot more there compared to what Photoshop wants me to do. So it's a lot, like, especially for Hazel, it's a lot more where you get a lot more tools in Lightroom than you would, for instance, in Photoshop. But I've run into the same thing with, like, Capture One by Phase One Technology and AC/DC from, I believe, AC/DC Systems. I don't recall the name. But, like, going back to this one real quick, you guys can see I've already done some work with shadows, just doing testing here. Which, what would be a really nice quick grade on this? And right there you guys can just see I'm blowing up the background. And then I can just bump up the contrast, but if I want to keep the Alucobond silver look here, like, those were just all the tools I had for this for the most part. Whereas now, once it opens, and I know someone can correct me in the future if I'm wrong, because I use Photoshop for photography very minimally, unless I need to go in there and start editing work. So, like, here we retain the classic Alucobond silver look of the geodesic spheres. And I'll do 100% so you guys can see that. And then the nice thing that I like about it is I can just use Magic Tool, like their quick selection, but I generally do it all by hand. Let me deselect that. Where I can select what I want now. So the nice thing is with this, I've just selected my sky. So we're going to keep the Alucobond silver, but to give it a bit more of a bump in contrast, I will do the burn tool, because it's on midtones, so we'll enlarge this so you guys can just see the difference in the sky. And actually, I'll enlarge it much better. So now I'm just going in there and just burning essentially the midtones. And then if I deem from there, like, okay, there's my midtones of my sky, and I think I used might have been big of a brush for what I'm doing right now. Which, honestly, I should probably just make a calendar. Let's see. Actually, could I do a bit deeper on that burn? Because I also normally use just hard mode and not do fading. So, like, you can see here the difference of doing 2 layers of burning. Where now it just highlights certain colors. And sometimes it won't achieve the look that I like. Like, honestly, I wouldn't ship anything like this with this look. The sky is, in this one, nicer, but then I would just need to focus more on the highlights. So if I want to actually do shadows, probably... there you go, the shadows will really make the color pop. But I feel like you lose something with all of this. Unless you like your really vivid color skies. We're now... this looks now processed. And the sky looks very, very unnatural. So now the sky looks extremely unnatural compared to something like this. And the nice thing is I can select the inverse, so if I want to darken the highlights of Spaceship Earth, I can do just that. Let me expand my brush size. It's very, very minor, but it really dulls out the color. So it's just varying things I could do. Or I could just fix all of this and lift up a lot of the, like, some of the other colors or shadowing. So, like, now I can make it look like a daytime picture and kind of weird looking. But Photoshop I've used for, like, very, very crazy things where, like, going in and editing a sticker off of a shirt. Which is possible if you spend enough time doing it. Or doing, like, photo modifications and doing things like that. So, it will vary. As Photoshop wants to be extremely slow on my system. And honestly, Lori, to your suggestion of making a calendar, I'm sure I could do something like that. Because there's just so many photos in this catalog. Like, I can do a specific Halloween one, or a specific, like, Christmas one, or something like that, and just do it by park. Because of the amount I photographed in most of them. It's like, I have photographs also ranging back to 2006. So it's kind of crazy. And ironically, I have to go back and reopen up Photoshop to show you guys my general idea. So do I actually have all of it? Yes, I do. So we're going to open up an iPhone X mockup in Photoshop. Because I'm going to show you guys, I want your general idea of what I'm working on. Like, how that would look. Like, I might do variants for all of it. But this is where it, like, falls into, do I want to start going into donation wear for photographs? Especially mobile wallpaper. Because those are precise imageries. Like, just researching into doing ones for different iPhones and iPads and Apple Watches, everything like that. I think I had to make custom, like, effects layers that tie into the operating system. And because I don't own most of these devices, I can't validate anything for you guys for them, sadly. The nearest we'll be able to validate is on my sister's iPhone 8, which doesn't have the bezel. It has the OLED screen, but it's a different color space than the iPhone X. Believe it or not, it's pretty hard to do mobile design because there's so many different layers I would focus on. So you guys can see here, here's the wallpaper. Yada yada. So like, this is just a general mock-up of an iPhone X that I just have sitting on my hard drive now. So the stuff that I've been thinking about doing has been just making like mobile wallpaper. Which, what would be a very nice one for here? We'll use this one of the train station. This is an unprocessed photo, mind you. And the nice thing I just about Photoshop is how I can just throw everything in here. So we'll do a quick color grade here. And it's just preparing my smart object for me. Mind you, this is just a quick mock-up. But doing something more like this, where we don't have the one wallpaper, and then from there I can actually go out and select everything outside of the phone, which in this mockup is very tight space. And I have to make this a raster layer. But the question is, would anyone be like interested in work like this once it's been corrected and all? Of this just very empty Walt Disney World train station. Which, if I were to bring everything back in here and just do a very quick image, like free transform to level everything out. Okay, there it is there. Edit, free transform. Oh, whoops. I had the wrong stuff selected. So let me deselect all of the magic here. And we'll go back to this layer and do another free transform on it. Which looks like we'll probably need about 1 degree of separation there. And I'll just expand out the size of it a bit. We'll do 2 degrees. Well, actually, 1.75 should be good. Again, this is just a quick mock-up. But just doing something generally like this. And what we'll do here is, with the frame, we'll select everything outside of the frame. So we'll do select inverse. And have the wrong layer selected. Again. Okay, so we have everything there selected. We'll deselect the inside of the phone. If it wants to work for me. Select inverse. There we go. But just doing something like this as a general mock-up is something actually feel like I really want to do, but I'm not entirely sure if you guys would be interested in like custom mobile wallpaper, because my approach right now is very time consuming, because I will verify that how things should look just from what I can do generally, but if you look, I have to have in my saves here, if they actually saved. I don't think they did. But like, if I work on everything, I have custom display resolutions that I would need to work on, as well as iPhone screen sizes. It's a bit of a arduous task, if I were to say so myself. But it's one of those things where it might be worthwhile. It might be worthwhile doing. So I've been wanting to get like somewhat of everyone's opinion on this, because if I do any of this wallpaper, I want to get iPhone X wallpaper out by Friday. So I would be working on it literally all day tomorrow, or tonight as well. It's just one of those things where I don't know if I want to risk for the reward, especially since I'll have to find space quick to put all of these photographs in as well. I am also working on multiple screen wallpaper and wallpaper for the computers, as well as figuring out like for Apple the Apple parallax effect, and dealing with Android, because I don't know what devices everyone uses, and Android is so fragmented. It is a nightmare to even software code for. I think as of last year, there was over 12,000 different types of Android devices out there. I think. Let me look that up real quick here. Let me see here. Android devices 2017. Fragmentation. Let's see. So, if we do this, there is just a fragmentation in software going back to 2010. And as of August of 2015, there were 24,093 distinct Android devices, which means it has gotten worse. So that's going to be one I think I might hold off on, because there is no proper program to do all this. I have to do all this by hand. But we shall see once the time gets us there. Because some photographs I've been taking, like this one would look beautiful as a computer wallpaper. And actually, the nice thing is with Adobe Lightroom is we can visualize that. So, I believe it's this one. View. I think it's something like this. What are my view options? But we shall see once I get around to it. If I do anything with mobile wallpaper, there will be just a sudden announcement on Friday, I think. And I am working on stuff like for Frozen, because projection faces do not photograph well, no matter how you slice it or dice it. like, Elsa's face, and I've always noticed it in this room, is a completely different color than the animatronic. So that's going to be custom color matching around her face in itself, which is a nightmare when it comes to photographing and attractions. And that's only have ever been the one scene that I've noted. And you can tell, like, this photo is also blurred slightly. I would have to do a lot of work on their faces. Like how I just made them kabuki. The Japanese kabuki style. So, but we'll figure it out from there, and I'm sorry that I went off on a rant. I didn't mean to. But, who knows? Who honestly knows? Do you guys have any brief questions for me? Photography-wise or not? Because I was just going to do a very, very short stream today. If you guys, if there's anyone photographs questions, please let me know. And I will be more than happy to. I think I've only been live for about, 41 minutes. Because I think I'm going to do a lot of this stuff off stream because I have to move files around to import the massive amount that I have now. Do you guys have any questions for me? Like low light attraction photography, which that's just scary. That photo's scary in itself. Because his eyes are closed, and I do apologize for all that beeping. It's my Discord app. Speaking of Discord, I don't want you to open on my phone. Well, guys, I'm actually going to go off right now. I'm going to go migrate some files over so I can import all this stuff and get ready for some Horror Nights. So, as of right now, thank you everyone for joining. I might be back around later tonight. I'm not entirely sure just yet. I want to see what I can get done. But thank you very much, everyone, and I hope you guys have a great evening. Have a good night, everyone. And shut up, Discord. Have a good night. And I might be back around a little bit later today. I'm not entirely sure just as of this exact moment. Have a good one.